Yes. Do you have clothes that are missing buttons? Maybe they need a hem. Maybe they've got a hole in them and it needs patching. Well, before you think about giving them away or throwing them away, have you heard of the Pop-Up Repair Cafe? It is hosted by a dedicated group of local repairer volunteers from the Gold Coast Tool Library. And you'll have a chance to learn how to fix what you've got by someone who knows how to do it. The Repair Cafe, in fact, is celebrating its 5th birthday. And here to tell you how it works and where the next pop-up cafe is going to be is David Paynter.
I was looking for ways to sort of volunteer and give back to the community. And I'd been familiar with the Repair Cafe concept and really sort of loved what they were. Looked around and saw that there wasn't really anything like this happening on the Gold Coast. So I thought, let's just get in there and start one. So I reached out to the public and found some people who were really interested, and we got up and got going.
So when you're trying to sell the idea to a tradie, hey, I want to do this pop-up cafe. It's a community event. People can come, recycle their goods without throwing them away, but do you mind volunteering your services? What was the reaction?
Well, we've actually found that most of the people that came were either retired tradies or they were just people in the public who have got really good skills. And quite often it was the more mature-aged people because they sort of grew up in a generation where you did repair things and they watched their mum and dad or their grandparents repair it. It was just natural to them. So they've got these really great repair skills. So we've now got the opportunity to pass along those skills and teach others, and they really enjoy that factor, sitting down with people, because that's the whole idea of a repair cafe is we sit down together and together you attempt to repair.
Oh.
And you have a chat, you have a cup of coffee, have some tea and bickies and some cake. And
so you do it together?
Do it together wherever possible, yes.
Oh, so it's not just handing it over and going away and coming back in a couple of hours?
No, exactly. You definitely sit together. Now, there are some things that can't be done, maybe some of the electronics or, some of the technical sewing, but the person is encouraged to sit there and watch and talk and learn some skills along the way.
How has the Pop-Up Repair Cafe grown in the last 5 years?
Well, probably COVID put a big dent on things and slowed us down a little bit, but we've sort of expanded out to where we offer them. We've been partnering with the lovely people at Springbrook and the Community Association up there and the Springbrook Men's Shed, and we've partnered with them and run some repair cafes up there. One of the Rotary clubs in Arundel that do all the wheelchair convert bikes to wheelchairs. We ran a great repair cafe there. So we've sort of expanded out to include other community groups and get them all involved. And the same thing's happening at this repair cafe. We've got the wonderful ladies from the Revive Hive, which is...
Revive Hive?
Yeah, Revive Hive in Burleigh. If you're into sewing and textiles, check them out. They meet every Thursday afternoon and they rescue fabric remnants or fabric and textiles that potentially be going to waste. And they have this great little sewing group there. Well, I shouldn't say little, it's actually growing, and they have the sort of items for sale where they do some fantastic upcycling of textiles and clothing. They'll also do some repairs, but they're really switched on people, and I love going to visit them because they've always got the best cakes. There's a lot of people who don't know how to sew on buttons, so they have never been taught. But things have been torn, ripped, things have just become a bit threadbare or worn out. It's amazing what sort of good repairs they can do. We don't offer alterations because there are plenty of businesses that offer that, and we're not trying to take work away from established businesses. We're just trying to help people do some repairs, keep those items out of landfill, primarily clothing, but also be bags.
Oh, yes, of course.
Backpacks or shoulder bags and things like that. Those sorts of lightweight, because we're only carrying in sort of, lightweight sewing machines. We don't have, the full-on industrial sewing machines that you'd have in a workshop. So sort of think of items that you could easily carry in that are going to be repaired by the tools and equipment that our repairers can carry into this pop-up environment.
And it's free?
And it's all free because our volunteers will volunteer their time and all their skills and knowledge to help you out. We've got some great other repairers coming along as well. One of our ladies from the Tool Library is pretty good at doing sort of light upholstery repairs. So think of, a footstool or a dining chair and things like that.
Something you can carry in.
Something you can carry in. Don't
bring in that three-seat sofa.
Definitely.
That's not what we're talking about.
Do not bring that in.
David Paynter, what is your story? From where have you come to be inspired to do what you do?
I've always been sort of deeply interested in environmental sustainability, circular economy initiatives, and that's where by starting the Repair Cafe and the Tool Library, we connect everyday people to circular economy initiatives, and part of that is designing out waste and pollution, keeping our goods and services in use for as long as possible, and being regenerative to the environment is the way we go.
So, where can people find the latest Repair Cafe?
Yeah, so Saturday 31st of May, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m, and it's being held at the Varsity Lakes Community Resource Centre, which is in 20 Mattocks Road, Varsity Lakes. So you'll find us there, and we'll have, probably about 15 different repairers there, offering all sorts of repairs, from jewellery repairs, guys from Gold Coast Tech Space doing electronics and light computer repair work. One of our tool library members is a keen cyclist, so he'll be doing sort of bike servicing, and a whole lot of other general repairs. Think, timber and woodwork, putting a picture frame back together, all sorts of different sort of things that we'll have an attempt at. The only thing we can't really work on is 240-volt electrical plug-in items. Think, table lamps or toasters or coffee machines. Queensland's the only state in Australia that requires a licensed electrician to work on them in all these situations. Trying to find an electrician is like a golden unicorn to come and volunteer.
I'm not disagreeing with you. David Paynter, this is such a wonderful community initiative. Have great friendships been born out of this?
Oh, definitely. I've met some amazing people. And the people who come along and give their time tend to be, they're good eggs. And I've met some amazing people. We've formed some great friendships. And between the repairers, they've met people who they've suddenly got a common interest with that they didn't know before. Those friendships extended on. And we've developed a great little community through our tool library and repair cafe of a whole sort of, community sharing and repair hub.
Well, happy 5th anniversary for the Community Share Repair Hub. The last day of May, it's a Saturday, Varsity Lakes Community Resource Centre. Textiles, yes, but as you mentioned, there are some other repairers that are on hand, and I can imagine it would get pretty busy. Do you need to book?
We don't have a booking system at this stage, so you can come and wander in, but allow yourself a bit of time. There's going to be plenty of things to look at. Have a tea, a coffee and some cake and biscuits, and have a chat with everybody. So give yourself a bit of time and we'll do our best to get everyone's repairs done.
Yeah. Can he fix it? I say yes, he can. Thank you very much, David Paynter.
Oh, thank you very much.